And that breaking news is out of Branford tonight. 3 people were arrested in connection with a violent kidnapping and assault that happened earlier this month. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Amanda Callahan is live outside Branford Police with the disturbing details in this case. Amanda.
Yeah, Stephanie, some of these details are hard to hear. Those 3 people were arrested after they allegedly lured a young victim to a wooded area off of North Ivy Street here in town and then brutally tortured them for about 3 hours. Now, 22-year-old Avante Ryan of Hartford and 2 17-year-olds were arrested in connection with this disturbing incident that happened on September 1st. According to Branford police, the 3 suspects held the victim against their will and then performed a number of brutal acts of torture, including physical assault, sexual assault, slashing the victim, setting them on fire, and pistol whipping them, leaving them with serious injuries. That victim, who we have learned is a juvenile, was taken to the hospital to be treated. No word on their current condition. Branford police learned about the kidnapping and assault after hearing about a video recording of the incident. They were then able to locate where it happened and the people involved. Ryan was taken into custody today and is facing a number of charges, including assault, sexual assault, robbery, criminal use of a firearm, and kidnapping. Those 2 17-year-olds were arrested on Monday of this week. They're also facing those same charges. Due to their ages, police did not release their identities, but all 3 of those suspects are currently being held on $1 million bond. Now, we know that Branford police are still investigating this incident along with Hartford police and the DA's office, but police did confirm for us this was an isolated incident. Ryan is due to appear in New Haven court tomorrow morning. Live in Branford, Amanda Callahan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.